Good afternoon, students of Goalpara. I am Major Chopra, the Director of Cavalier. We have traditionally been teaching a lot of students who have been from the Sainik school, Goalpara, and other schools also, and the results have been very good. Now, this initiative which has been taken by your school, that you're starting in your class 11th and you're going to prepare till the NDA exam happens next year. It's a very good initiative in that you're going to have classes on online, followed by offline and then online again. So it's a very novel program, and I feel that you will enjoy yourself and you will learn a lot and you'll get very good results. We've had schools which have secured results up to about 80 to 90% in the written exam. So we think that this can be replicated with your school as well. For your maths classes, maths teacher Shekhar sir is here. He has been with the institute for almost about 22 years now, and he knows maths of NDA inside out, right? So without wasting any more time, I will call the teacher, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy this session with him. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, all of you, and welcome to today's session. As we all know that it is going to be your first class, you can say it's a demo class for you all people. So it will be okay for both of us, all of us to get acquainted with each other. That's why we have arranged this demo class. Mathematics basically is the most important part, as you all know, in NDA syllabus. That in maths, 120 questions are there in your main paper that will give you 300 marks. Might be you are knowing all these facts beforehand, but I am just repeating so that you can know the importance of this subject. In NDA, in maths, you are going to get 120 questions. Each question carries 2.5 marks with a negative scheme also. But you have to solve all these 120 questions in a time duration of 150 minutes, that is 2.5 hours. So approximately if you are calculating, then on an average, the approximate time to solve a given question of maths is 1 minute 15 seconds. Now this 1 minute 15 seconds question solving technique is not taught to you by your school teachers because they have their restrictions. In CBSE, no shortcut, no tricks, no methods of solving questions in 30 seconds or 40 seconds is being allowed actually. So they are being instructed from beforehand that you should teach maths to students in a very descriptive method. But when you are getting into competitive exam, whether it is NDA or any other competitive exam, there is a mandatory rule that you will be given some questions. Questions will be always more in number and time will be always less in number. So you have to get acquainted with the method of solving questions in a quick manner. And for that only we are here. Specifically maths for NDA is all about question solving techniques. Yes, methods will be there. Those things which you have studied in your 11th class or you are going to study in 11th class, that are all important. But besides that, it's very much necessary for all of you to know how to solve questions in quick manner. And for that, I am going to help you, and let's begin our journey today. And let's hope that, well, hope is a very small word. I will assume that we are going to crack it together. So let's start our today's first session. Topic which I have decided to take is your so-called mother of mathematics. For me at least. I treat trigonometry as mother of mathematics because all the other sections in your math syllabus is basically related to trigonometry. Suppose I say trigonometry is present where? Trigonometry is present in trigonometry. While solving questions of coordinate geometry or solving questions of algebra, solving questions of calculus, there also you will find the application of trigonometry. So according to me, and you should also assume that trigonometry is the mother of mathematics. So we will be starting with trigonometry basic concepts. In this I will be telling you how and what is there in the syllabus of NDA maths from trigonometry chapter. It's one of the most important section. Because trigonometry, you will say, sir, we have studied in 10th class, but we are not finding it so much interesting. There are so many values which we have to remember, we have to draw the table, we have to remember the identities. We are good, but we are not perfect in this trigonometry section, and you are saying that it is the mother of mathematics, so how it is going to be interesting? I will make it interesting. And moreover, you will find it very interesting. I will not make it, I will not create it. Actually, you will find it very interesting when I will teach you how to deal with complex trigonometric equations or questions. So let me first begin with the syllabus of trigonometry, or you can say the course contents in this particular section trigonometry. What are the chapters which we are going to cover? The first one is basic ratios and identities. We are going to start with this, because in your syllabus, out of this particular topic only, you will be getting something around 15 to 20 questions every year, and this includes class 10th and class 11th trigonometry. Just make sure that whatever you have studied in 10th class trigonometry, that is not going to be a waste for you. You will be getting the application of 10th class trigonometry also while you are doing some questions of NDA maths. So just refresh everything. जो भी तुमने पढ़ा है, let me be a bit bilingual, क्योंकि मुझे लग रहा है कि you will be okay with English, but might be Hindi will be okay with you. I don't know how many of you can respond back to this particular message, but I just want to know from you people that you people are more comfortable in English or Hindi, or you want me to be totally in English, or you want me to be bilingual. If you can at least provide me this particular message, it will be easy for me to carry on the class. But anyhow, till the time you are not responding back, let it be in English only. So 15 to 20 questions are there from this particular topic, that is basic ratios and identities, and it will definitely cover your 10th class maths also. And yes, 11th class is the majority part. I don't know how much trigonometry you have done in 10th, and maybe in 11th it has just started, so you might not have done much in 11th class trigonometry. So let me start from the scratch, then I will be taking you to the medium level, then that level which is required for your NDA, and then a bit of advanced also. So let's start from the scratch. I will be just assuming that I have got some raw group of students who are not so much good at trigonometry. So whatever we have studied in 10th, if I can just give you some basic hints, and then I will be telling you one very good method today. I will be telling you that method by which you can solve a very dirty looking question of maths in a very easy and within 30 seconds. I will be telling you in the last of the class. Let's start with this. Okay, one of you are saying English, okay, but then immediately after that bilingual is okay. Dev Pratap, okay, fine. Let's see what is the majority, because bilingual will be comfortable with me. English is okay. English is okay, no issues with English also. But then you just decide with what medium you are comfortable, because I am getting here English. English is actually bilingual. I think that much English is strong for me. So let's start. So first of all, let's start with the very crux. You have studied in 10th class trigonometry. That means you are going to deal with the meaning of tri is 3, gono is angles, metry is measurement. And the basic trigonometric ratios which I must think that you should be knowing are the 6 one: sine, cosine. These are the full forms. These are the full forms. These are not the abbreviated forms. Sine, cosine, then comes tangent, then comes cotangent, then it is secant, and then it is cosecant. I am sure that you all people know these things, but while writing, we take the first 3 letters of each one of them. That means sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, and for this I am taking the first 5 letter, because if I will take the first 3, it will become similar to the second one, that is cos. Now in front of it I will be putting theta, that is the angle under consideration, which we will be knowing what this theta means for these all things, and this starts our trigonometry journey. Sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, cot theta, sec theta, and cosec theta. These are the 6 trigonometric ratios which you will be following again and again in all the chapters whatever we are going to do in trigonometry, these trigonometric ratios will be always there in front of you. So for understanding them, what are the values? Let's first draw a triangle which you have studied in 10th class. I am again and again saying that I have started from the scratch part, so I will be telling you all these things. Then slowly and steadily we will be entering into the section of shortcuts also. So in general, we are going to take right angle triangle. All of us know that in a triangle, if one angle is 90 degree, then it is considered to be a right angle triangle. And the other two angles, as you can see, if one angle is 90 degree, then the other two angles must give you a sum which is equals to 90 degree. So if I take this angle as theta, this is 90. So according to angle sum property of triangle, the sum total of all the three angles must be 180. So if it is 90 and it is theta, then it must be 90 minus theta. We are not going to discuss more about this right now. We are just bothered about this particular angle, that is theta. In front of theta, whatever side you are going to get, always remember, in front of theta, whatever side you are going to get is denoted as P and it is known as perpendicular. And the side adjacent to this theta is always denoted by B and it is known as base. And these two are variable. Always remember, perpendicular and base in a right angle triangle are variable according to the position of theta. Suppose a person cannot understand this particular line, so let me explain it to him that suppose you are taking this as theta, then for you, your perpendicular will be this particular side and your base will become this particular side. So you have to always consider the angle, and according to that angle theta, you have to decide which one is perpendicular and which one is base. But one thing is always constant in your right angle triangle, and that is the side opposite to right angle. Now you can see this is the right angle. So side opposite to it is always known as hypotenuse and it is denoted as capital H. And trigonometry is all about the relationship between these three, perpendicular, base and hypotenuse. Whatever names I have written just in the starting of this class, these all are related to this P, B and H. And for remembering that, you have certain tricks, certain mnemonics, your teacher might have told you about all those mnemonics, shortcuts. So I will be just telling you a few more. And I am sure that you must be remembered these all sin theta, cos theta, tan theta, whatever you know. Because I have made them remember to most many people, those who are very bad at maths. So if those persons are also seeing this video, they can understand that if I can make them remember, then you are proficients. So let's start. Sin theta, this is the first one which I have talked about, and then it is cos theta. Always remember, these are the fundamental trigonometric ratio. Other ones are all derived trigonometric ratio. Now maybe some of you may have not understood what I have told, but always remember sin theta and cos theta तुम्हारे fundamental ratios होते हैं, because for all other ratios are derived from these two ratios only. So always remember, these are fundamental ratio. This is P by H and cos theta is B by H. If you have still not remembered, just make sure that you should at least know these things. And tan theta is derived from this sin theta and cos theta simply by dividing it in the same order. That means tan theta is sin theta by cos theta. And if you divide P by H with B by H, obviously baat hai, you will be getting the cancellation of H and you will be left behind with P by B. So sin theta, cos theta, tan theta. Once you have got the values of these trigonometric ratios, the other three you can easily know or derive, because the reciprocal of sin theta is cosec theta. So if sin theta is P by H and I am saying that cosec theta is the reciprocal of sin theta, then definitely it will be H by P. Now in the same way, cos theta has got its reciprocal as sec theta. So if cos theta is B by H, then definitely sec theta will be H by B. You have to remember these things, because if you don't know these, then you are actually weak at maths. You can't build a strong foundation. You can't build a building over a very weak foundation. Your foundation should be strong, and these are the foundation part. For that, I am going to take some 5 to 10 minutes just to make sure that at least your basic foundation should be strong enough. And the reciprocal of tan theta is cot theta. That means this can be written as B by P. I hope you all know the meaning of reciprocal. Reciprocal means 1 upon anything. Suppose I am saying 2. So its reciprocal will be 1 by 2. Suppose I am saying 1 by 3. So its reciprocal will be 3. So that is the meaning of reciprocal, and accordingly we have written this. Cosec theta is the reciprocal of sin theta. Sec theta is the reciprocal of cos theta, and cot theta is the reciprocal of tan theta, which means one more thing, that if you multiply these reciprocal ratios, then the product of them will be definitely equals to 1. That is, sin theta into cosec theta is 1, cos theta into sec theta is 1, and tan theta into cot theta is always 1. Now this is a property that whenever we multiply two reciprocal values, we always get the answer as 1. And just now I have written the formulas also, so let me write it once more. Sin theta P by H, cos theta B by H, tan theta, the division of these two in the same order, it is P by B. Now you can write the reciprocal values simply by seeing the first three, because cot theta is the reciprocal of tan theta, so it means B by P. Sec theta is the reciprocal of cos theta, that means it will be H by B, and cosec theta is the reciprocal of sin theta, that is H by P. And to remember these, we have been given some mnemonics. Let me give you some few more. Now you have to remember this. Some people have curly brown hairs through proper brushing. Through proper brushing. Now if you see it carefully, you can get all these formulas inside these mnemonics. What I have told, let me repeat. Some people have curly brown hair through proper brushing. S for sin, C for cos, T for tan. PH, BH, PB, just check the formula from here. Sin theta is P by H, so you can see it is correct. Cos theta is B by H, again you can see. If you are reading it from top to bottom, then you are getting the same things. And then tan theta is P by B, so it is also correct. Now in the base part, you just write the reciprocal and read it from down to up. Now as we all know, the reciprocal of sin theta is cosec theta, the reciprocal of cos theta is sec theta, and the reciprocal of tan theta is cot theta. Now read it from bottom to upward. So you can find cosec theta is H by P, sec theta is H by B, and cot theta is B by B. Now till now what we have known is this particular formula. We have one more mnemonics to remember this. Let me write once in Hindi. Some तो हिंदी हो गया, इंग्लिश हो गया. पंडित बद्री प्रसाद हर हर बोले सोना चांदी तोले. Now just see. What I have told you is in Hindi. This one is in English. Here I have told some people have curly brown hair through proper brushing. Here I have changed it into totally Hindi. Pandit Badri Prasad har har bole sona chandi tole, where again S is for sin, C is for cos, and T is for tan. Just read it in the same way I have told you this one. From upward to downward, it will be giving you the respective formula of sin, cos, and tan, and from downward to upward, it will be giving you the formulas for reciprocal of sin, cos, and tan. And I am sure कि ये सब बातें तुम पढ़ चुके हो. It's just a mere repetition in the first 15 minutes of this class. But the most important thing in this all discussion, which I have not done till now, is the certain values which are known as Pythagorean triplet. You must have a set of Pythagorean triplets ready in your mind, which is to be used in your question paper, because examiner usually give questions in which he tried to know whether the student has remembered all the Pythagorean triplets which are required for your paper or not. So what is this Pythagorean triplet? What is this Pythagoras theorem? Maybe you know Pythagoras theorem because in that 10th class we have got a proof of Pythagoras theorem. We have used Pythagoras theorem in solving certain questions. So let me first start with that. Now we all know in case of right angle triangles, if this angle is theta, this side is perpendicular, this side is base and the side opposite to 90 degree is hypotenuse, then all these three sides will be connected with Pythagoras theorem. And that Pythagoras theorem is the square of perpendicular and the sum of base square is always equals to the square of hypotenuse. In a right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is always equals to the sum of the squares of the other two sides, which are basically known as perpendicular and base. This is Pythagoras theorem, but those sides which obeys Pythagoras theorem are known as Pythagorean triplets. You must be knowing the difference. Those sides which obeys Pythagoras theorem are known as Pythagorean triplets. Now I am going to write a few Pythagorean triplets there and I will tell you what is different or what is strange in these all Pythagorean triplets. What are those? Let's start. First one is 3, 4, 5, then comes 5, 12, 13, then comes 7, 24, 25. Now see, you have to write it as well as remember it. Why remember it? I will tell you the reason later on. Just write it down somewhere if you are having copy pen with you. 9, 40, 41, then comes your 20, 21, 29, then comes 20, 99, 101, then comes 16, 63, 65. Now just see, we have already written somewhere around 8 Pythagorean triplets. Now let me ask you, what is strange in all of them? If anybody of you can tell me in the comment section what is strange in all these values, then it will be very nice of you. But I am sure nobody can tell except one thing they will tell, these are all Pythagorean triplets, but the speciality is something different. I know because I have already written that these are Pythagorean triplets, so how it can be different? These are Pythagorean triplets, but there is something strange in all these values that you have to understand and that you have to remember. And because of that, trigonometric ratios only we are discussing here. I think you have joined the class a bit late. I have started with trigonometric ratios only. Sin theta, cos theta, I have already told, and this is where we are moving towards. So Pythagorean triplets, when we are discussing, we have to see that all these sides which I have written right now, in each one of them you will find that common factor is 1. There is no other number which will cancel these three values, whether it is 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13, 7, 24, 25, 8, 15, 17 or any one of them. In each case you will be getting the common factor as only 1. And that's why they are not only be called as Pythagorean triplet, but they are known as basic Pythagorean triplet. Now these are those values which you must remember, because all other Pythagorean triplets are getting derived from these only. Now suppose I multiply each one of this value with 2. Suppose I am going to multiply each with 2. So I will be getting 6, 8, 10. Now if I will ask whether they are Pythagorean triplet or not, you will say, yes sir, this is also a Pythagorean triplet, because 10 square is 100, 6 square is 36 and 8 square is 64. So when I add these two, I am going to get this 10 square. So this is also a Pythagorean triplet and this is also a Pythagorean triplet, but the basic difference is in these three values, if you try to find out the common factor, you will be getting only 1. But in these three values, you will be getting common factor as 2 and 1 also. That means if a Pythagorean triplet values have got more than 1 factor, then those all are Pythagorean triplets. But if the Pythagorean triplets have also only one common factor, that is 1 itself, then they are known as basic Pythagorean triplet. Now all these cases, if you will multiply each value with a fixed number, suppose in the same case you are multiplying each one of them with 3, you are going to get 9, 12 and 15. Now just think about these values. 9 square is 81, 12 square is 144, and if you add these two values, you will be getting 225, which is square of 15. But if I ask what is the common factor here except 1, you will be saying, sir, 3 is the common factor. But in this case, 3, 4, 5, the common factor of all the 3 values is 1 only. That's why 3, 4, 5 are known as basic Pythagorean triplet, whereas 9, 12, 15 is simply known as Pythagorean triplet. So maybe you have understood this. Positive square root, can you explain about it? Okay, whatever, I don't know who is this John. Somewhere from middle he has come and just trying to disturb a bit. Okay, leave it, let's forget about it. So all of you have understood till now. The things which I have told you is very important, and specifically these values are very much important. So just note it down somewhere and keep on giving the response whether you people are understanding me or not, because till now whatever I have taught, these are all your 10th class trigonometry, which is also very important. I have told you in the starting. So just keep on reverting me back, sir, we are getting, so that I can continue. Now the next important thing is the trigonometric table. Without remembering or without knowing the method to draw trigonometric table, you can't further continue for your 11th class trigonometry. It's very much necessary for each one of you right now sitting and watching this video or this live session that you must can draw trigonometric table of sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, cosec from 0 to 90 degree, and you can tell me any value whenever I ask you. If you are in that particular format, then only you can say that you are ready for the preparation of NDA maths. If you still find it difficult to draw the trigonometric table, or maybe I ask you a question, what is cos 60, what is tan 30, and you have to draw the table to get the answer, then you are not in a competitive format of mind. You have to develop that competitive spirit, you have to develop that competitive aptitude, so that if I ask one particular value, you can tell me in seconds, sir, this is the answer. So in that format, if you have drawn and remembered the table, then it is beneficiary, otherwise it's a waste. So let me tell you how to draw the trigonometric table with a trick, maybe or may not be, you may be knowing this. So whenever we draw trigonometric table, we start with these 5 values, and these 5 values will be keep on repeating when we will be doing 11th class higher trigonometric ratios values, because this is not the end, you will be getting more values. You will be getting more values means you will be getting the angles more than 90 degree to be calculated for sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, cosec. So you must be perfect with this table first, and then we can go for the further things. Now sine, cos, tan, cot, sec, cosec, these are the trigonometric ratios whose angle value you must be knowing, and for this you have to remember one trick so that you don't have to put more pressure on your mind. And that trick is, might be your teacher has told you that if you can draw the first row, then by seeing that row you can write the other values also. But sometimes students forget that first row even. So how to remember this first row with perfection, that is the question, and that is what I am going to tell you. So try to understand what is the method. So for that, what you have to do exactly, you have to write here 0 by 4, then 1 by 4, then 2 by 4, then 3 by 4, then 4 by 4, and on all these values you have to put a square root sign. Now I think all of you can remember this particular thing, that you have to write 0 by 4, 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 3 by 4, 4 by 4, and you have to put a root over sign on all of them. And when you finish doing that, all of us know that 0 by 4, 0 upon any number is always 0, and square root of 0 is 0. So you will be getting 0 only. Now 1 by 4, if you are putting a square root on 1 by 4, we all can calculate it, and it will be 1 by 2. Now for 2 by 4, first of all you have to simplify it by cutting it in the table of 2. That means numerator is 1, denominator is 2, and if you are finding its square root, it will become 1 by root 2. Then comes 3 by 4, you can take the under root of this as root 3 by 2. And then 4 by 4 you can cancel it right here and you will be getting 1 only. Now this is what you have remembered. Maybe you have recalled it back, but now you are ready with a trick that in future if you forget the first row itself, then that particular values which I have given in the starting as trick, that will help you a lot in writing the first row. And once you have written this first row, cos is nothing but the reverse order of this particular values. That means whatever values you have written for sine 0 degree, sine 30 degree, sine 45 degree, sine 60 degree and sine 90 degree, just write it in reverse order and you will be getting the values of all your cosine values. That means first value will be 1, then next value will be root 3 by 2, then next value will be 1 by root 2, next value will be 1 by 2 and then next value will be 0. Now till today you have remembered like this only, but let me tell you that there is a big reason behind this. Why we are reversing the values and writing it? What's the reason behind that? So maybe or may not be you know the reason behind that, and that reason is sine and cosine, both of them are complementary angles. I hope you might have heard this term complementary. ये term तुमने सुना है या नहीं? I don't know, because there are two types of suna. One is this suna and one is this suna. There is a difference between the two. Maybe some few of you may be suna, most of you will be shuna. So I don't know who are those who are suna and who is suna. So let me tell you the reason why, what is complementary. So two angles whose sum gives you 90 degree are known as complementary angles, and we usually say that sine and cosine are complementary to each other. Now what is the exact meaning of that? Exact meaning of that is, in case of sine 0 degree, when you say sine 0 degree, so for 0 degree its complement will be that angle which makes 0 degree equal to 90 degree. Now just think that if 0 degree is added to 90 degree to make it 90 degree, that means the complement of 0 degree is 90 degree. And just now I have told you that complement of sine is cos, that indirectly means that sine 0 degree value will be definitely equals to cos 90 degree. That's why if cos 90 is 0, sine 0 is also 0. Now suppose I ask what is the complement of 30 degree? Now 30 degree can become 90 degree only when 60 degree is added to it. That means for 30 degree complement is 60 degree and for sine complement is cos. That's why if we are writing sine 30 degree as 1 by 2, then in cos the angle which will give you 1 by 2 is 60 degree. Now coming to the third angle, that is 45 degree. Suppose somebody asks you which angle when added to 45 degree will give you 90 degree, you will say yeah, it is 45 degree only. And we all know that complement of sine is cos. That's why sine 45 and cos 45, both of them are going to have the same value. Now in the same way, for sine 60 it is cos 30, that's why it is written here, and for sine 90 it is cos. So in that way you have to write them in reverse order. That is the real reason, and because of that we get a formula here: sine 90 degree minus theta is equals to cos theta, and similarly cos 90 degree minus theta is equals to sin theta. Always remember, sin 90 minus theta is cos theta and cos 90 minus theta is sin theta. ठीक है? चलो, पेल्टा विवो ज्यादा कर रहे हैं. Okay, I don't know what you people are saying. Okay, now just now I have told you that tan is the ratio between sin and cos. Tan theta is equals to sin theta by cos theta. We have just discussed while discussing trigonometric ratio. So whatever value you have got for sin 0 and cos 0, just divide them in the same order. 0 upon any number is always equals to 0. Now there is a reason behind that also. I will tell you that. And 1 by 2 when divided by root 3 by 2, it will become 1 by root 3. Same value when divided with each other, it will give you 1. Root 3 by 2 when divided by 1 by 2 will give you root 3. And 1 when divided by 0 is usually called as not defined. Now here the students go wrong. I have seen so many times when people come for the first time in the class, I ask them to draw this table. So people usually go wrong in this too, because they are not sure in which case it is 0 and in which case it is not defined. So I will just explain it with one example. Suppose I ask you people what is the value of 8 by 4. I think all of you can answer very easily, sir, it will be 2. Without any doubt, you all will answer that this value is going to be 2. So how can you be so sure? Because you know that whenever we have to divide, our denominator value will be acting as divisor and our numerator value will be acting as dividend. So in table of 4, in 2 you are going to get 8, and once this division process is complete, you are writing the quotient value here, right? This is what we have done, we are doing since so many years. Now in the same way, suppose I am writing 0 in the numerator and in the denominator I am writing any number, let it not be 1, let it be 5. So in the same way, if I am going to divide it, I have to write the denominator as your divisor and the dividend as numerator. Now can anyone tell me in 5 what you are going to multiply to get 0? Is there any number which when multiplied with 5 can give you 0? Certainly yes, because 0 is that number. If you multiply 5 with 0, then definitely you are going to get 0, and this is what I need. That's why whenever we divide 0 with any number, our answer becomes 0, and henceforth we will remember this formula that 0 upon any number is always equals to 0. Now once you have understood this particular concept, in future whenever you are going to get this type of confusion, you can easily crack it out. Now let me tell you why the other thing is there. Now suppose I am writing 5 and in the denominator I am writing 0. Now in this case what is going to happen? Again I will do the same thing. Denominator will be in the out, that is divisor, and the numerator will be in place of dividend. Now suppose somebody asks me or somebody asks you that by which number we multiply 0 to get 5, you will be a bit confused. You will say, sir, there is no such number, because whenever 0 is multiplied with anything, it becomes 0 only, and there is nothing like there is no such number. In mathematics there is no such language that you can tell anyone that there is no such number. So whenever this type of things happen, we say it is not defined. Not defined. That means there is no such value, that's why it is not defined. So henceforth you have to remember this thing, that any number upon 0 will always be a value which is not defined, and that's the reason why tan 0 is 0 and tan 90 is not defined. This is the main reason. Most of you might not be knowing these reasons. So let me get back to my table. I think now you people can easily tell me the other 3 rows, because just now I have told you about this complementary fact. Like sine and cos are complement of each other, in the same way tan and cot are also complement of each other. That means what I mean to say, you can easily understand, whatever values you have written for tan from 0 to 90, you have to just write them again in reverse order. That means this value will become not defined, this will become root 3, this is 1, this is 1 by root 3, and this will become 0. Now coming back to sec. Now before going to sec, let me write these formulas for these two also. That means tan 90 degree minus theta is cot theta, and cot 90 degree minus theta is tan theta. I hope you can easily relate these 4 formulas. Now all of us just now studied that the reciprocal of cos is sec. Reciprocal of cos is sec. So let's start. 1, the reciprocal of 1. What you understand by reciprocal? I have told you in the very starting, 1 upon 1. That means this value will remain 1 only. Now while talking about root 3 by 2, root 3 by 2 ulta, reverse, that means it will become 2 by root 3. Now coming to 45, cos 45 is 1 by root 2, just take the reciprocal, it will become root 2. Then 1 by 2 reciprocal is 2. Now comes the main thing. Here the student again get wrong, 0. Now suppose I say what is the reciprocal of 0, because sec and cos are reciprocal of each other. Cos 90 you have already written 0, now you are interested for sec 90, and you know that cos and sec are reciprocal of each other. That means sec 90 is nothing but 1 by cos 90. That means again you will be falling into that trap of 1 by 0. Now don't fall into that trap, because just now I have told you that any number upon 0 is not defined. So simply cover it by writing ND. ND is not defined. And then again I will say sec and cosec are reciprocal of each other. That is one way to write or fill the column of or row of cosec. Otherwise sine and cosec are reciprocal of each other. From there also you can write. Now choice is yours. Let me focus on complementary part only, and let's finish this with writing this formula. Sec 90 minus theta is cosec theta, and cosec 90 minus theta is sec theta. That means whatever values you have written, just write it in reverse order. In the same way you have finished the other 5. Now you have to understand the table, you have to remember the ways I have told you, you have to remember that small things which you have not studied till now. That fact 0 upon any number is 0, any number upon 0 is not defined. These all things if you can keep in your mind. And yes, don't make it a habit to draw the table again and again. You have to keep the table in your mind. That is how your math speed will increase. You will excel in your maths. If you will keep on writing the table and then again you are creating a problem, confusion in these values, then it will never get strong. So whatever I am delivering in this particular session, try to just get a grasp of that. Try to understand what I exactly mean to say. You can improve maths only when you know these all small things. I have just now given you a small homework that you have to remember all the basic Pythagorean triplets. I have given you some 8 sets there. You have to remember them. That is a mandatory thing. Second thing is this table. This should be kept in your dimag, mind ke andar hona chahiye. It's not that you are going to draw it. And if you really want to improve maths to a more better extent, then one more homework is there for you. You have to remember all the squares from 1 to 30 and all the cubes from 1 to 20. These are the very few things which is to be done. If in a question there is a requirement of 18 square and you are still in a habit of doing this, then you are wasting your time. By doing this anybody can find out, but if you can remember that, it's very easy. And in exam these values come again and again. While solving question these values will be coming. At that time in hash you will be doing it wrong. But if you can remember it beforehand, that will be easy. You might be thinking that these are very hard tasks, but these are very simple things which even 8th, 9th class students can do. So why can't you? And one more important thing, you have to remember all the multiplication table at least from 1 to 20. I hope 10th tak to sabko yaad hota hai. Up to 10th it's a just left hand game. From 11 to 20 you have to remember it. So these are all homeworks which I am giving you indirectly or directly that must be done before getting into the next session. Because in this session I have promised you that I am going to give you a shortcut. So time has come, I am going to give you some shortcuts which you can directly apply in few questions of your paper, of course trigonometry, and this question can be solved in seconds, which by traditional method will take somewhere around 3 to 4 minutes. Let me show you those tricks and questions which has come in your paper itself. First of all, suppose this question has come so many times in your paper in different ways. If a plus b is equals to, now let me write it as pi by 4. How many of you know what is pi by 4? Anybody? If you don't know, well and good, because this is what is being taught in 11th class trigonometry. Yeah, this is the first exercise in which you have been taught about this. Might be you have done this, so most of you can answer, but if you can't, then always remember this pi is 180 degree divided by 4, it is 45 degree. In your paper, he will be giving you in this particular measure only, circular measure it is known as. So suppose there is a question, if a plus b is equals to pi by 4, then find 1 plus tan a into 1 plus tan b. I have again told you this question has come so many times in your paper in different ways, and options available are 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now traditionally this question can be solved and it will take some 4 to 5 steps, but for that you have to remember some few formulas. But the method I am going to tell you is that method in which you have to just keep a track in your trigonometric table. That table which you have drawn just now, if you can remember that table with perfection, this question can be solved in 30 seconds, maybe in 20 seconds, maybe in 10 seconds, and even I have found students who can solve this question just by seeing in 5 seconds. So you can be one of them. Now what is the step, what is the method, how to do this type of question? So just think of those values you have just studied from the table. They are 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. Now tell me, out of these 5 values, which are those 2 values which when added can give you 45 degree? A little bit of common sense will just tell you that 0 and 45, yes, these are the 2 angles which when added can give you 45 degree, no other choice. So let's assume that my A is 0 degree and B is 45 degree. Now come back to the question, 1 plus, what is tan 0? Tan 0 is 0, just now we have brought. And what is tan 45? Because B we have taken as 45. So there is a need of tan 45, you all know it is 1. So what is the answer? 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 into 2 is 2. So correct answer is B. Now you will say, sir, ऐसे कर सकते हैं क्या? Can it be done like this? Or is this the only question you are having with it? I have so many questions with me right now from your paper only which can be done by this method. But you have to understand, you have to know these techniques. It is called value putting method, which can be helpful for solving few questions. I am not saying again that you can solve all the questions with this. You can't solve all the questions with this. There are so many things apart from value putting method, but yes, this is one of them by which you can save some time. Let me give you one more question and expect the answer from you people. The question is, if A plus B plus C is equals to pi by 2, then find tan A into tan B plus tan B into tan C plus tan C into tan A. This question has also come in your paper so many times in different ways. Options available are 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now suppose I can wait for some time, because just now I have seen that some few of you have given this answer. Dev Pratap Singh Chaudhary. Yes, so I will be expecting answers from you people. If you have understood a little bit of value putting method, then I hope you people can do this question. If you can't solve it in 1 minute, then I will definitely tell you the method so that you can understand this method very clearly. I am just waiting for some time. Sorry. Okay, fine. So one of you, again the same boy, Dev Pratap Singh Chaudhary, has given the answer as 3. So might be he has understood this method properly, or might be he has done this method from somewhere else earlier. These are the 2 possible reasons which I can find. Now how you are going to do, most of you, see these 3 angles when added together is going to give you pi by 2. Just now I have told you pi is 180 divided by 2, it will give you 90. So from your table, you have to search for few angles whose sum can be equals to 90 degree. And the best possible choice which I get in my mind is 30, 30 and 30. It's not written anywhere in the question that the angles cannot be equal. So just to make the calculation easier, I have taken all the three values A, B and C as 30 degree each. So just think, if I write tan 30 degree into tan 30 degree, because in other two also I am going to get the same thing. So tan 30 is 1 by root 3 and again tan 30 is 1 by root 3. So 1 by root 3 into 1 by root 3 is going to give you 1 by 3. And from the other two also you are getting the same value, that is 1 by 3. So this time Dev, your answer is not correct, because 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 is not going to give you 3, it will be giving you 1, and the correct answer is B. Now tell me, have you understood this method? Because next question I will be expecting all of you to answer if you are in a position to answer the question. I am not sure whether you are seeing it in such a way that you can answer my comments, because some few of you are answering the comments, but might be you are seeing it in a big screen or panel. So I am not sure. So I am just putting the next question, and I am expecting that if anybody of you can solve that question by using this method, then you can. Now let me give you, and I hope all of you are getting this. Are you getting this method till now? Whatever I have taught you in this particular session, have you understood everything? Specifically this particular part of value putting method. Let me give one more question. Now this time the question is, if theta plus phi is equals to pi by 6, then find root 3 plus tan theta into root 3 plus tan phi. Now this is the value which you have to calculate. And this time your options are 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the way I have told you the last two questions, I have explained the last two questions, how to take the angles, the same way you can proceed in this question. I will be expecting more answers. Yes sir, Dev Pratap Singh has written yes sir, but what about others? Anybody who can solve this question also by the same value putting method. Now I hope you might have understood how the method is proceeding. Yes, I think you are not in a position to answer the question, because I am sure if you are watching it and you have mobile with you, then you can easily answer me in the comment section, but I am not sure that you are in that position. So let me explain it to you so that you can refer it later on. Now this time two angles are theta and phi, and their sum is given to you as pi by 6. And we all know that pi is 180, so many times I have told you this. So 180 by 6, that makes it 30 degree. So from your table 0, 30, 45, 60, 90, these are the values which are available, and I am sure you can easily pick out those two values whose sum can give you 30 degree. And those two values are, one is 0 and the other one is 30. So let's take this theta as 0 and phi as 30 degree and put them one by one in this question. Root 3 plus tan 0, I hope you people have remembered till now, because already I have used it so many times, and in the second bracket it is root 3 plus tan 30. Now tan 0 is 0 and tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Root 3 plus 0 is root 3, and it is to be multiplied with root 3 plus 1 by root 3. Now there are several ways of solving this question further, but the best possible way which I find is just open the bracket. Now we all know root 3 into root 3 is 3, and root 3 when multiplied with 1 by root 3 will give you 1, because this root 3 and this root 3 will get cancelled. So the final answer is 3 plus 1, and the answer is 4. So I hope you people have now understood 80% of this particular method, which I have told you in the very starting of the class that I will be giving you a definite very good method here. So I will be ending with one more question, and I will be expecting that if you people can answer the question, then it will be fine for me. Dev Pratap Singh Chaudhary is again answering the question, but a bit late. So finally I am coming for the last question of today's session, and before closing this particular session I will be just asking you some few things which I hope can answer me, right? But let me just finish up with this question. Now again one more question just to finish this. If tan square b is equals to 1 minus sin a upon 1 plus sin a, then find a plus 2b. You have to find this value. Options are 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree or 90 degree. Now this question is also there in your paper, has also come in some previous year. Now how to do this question, because this is not so direct, it's a bit different from the other 3 questions which we have done regarding this value putting method. It's different. Anybody who can solve this question by value putting method, because specifically I am teaching you this method, value putting method, and this question can be done very easily with the help of that value putting method. Now let me see if anybody can solve this question. Question you can see from here. If tan square b is equals to 1 minus sin a upon 1 plus sin a, then what is the value of a plus 2b? Yes, anybody? It's not an issue if you people can't answer right now, because I can feel that you are not in a position to answer the things, right? Okay, fine. Then let's finish with this particular question. Now, what is the approach? What is the approach to solve this question? Because it's a bit different question. How you are going to start? Because in other questions, the angle sum is given to you as something, but there is no such condition in this particular question. So we have to begin with our LHS. In LHS, we are seeing that we have a value tan square b, and suppose I ask you people that which is the most easiest value in tan, then definitely you can say, sir, 45 degree, because tan 45 degree is 1, and if we can take our left hand side in place of b as 45 degree, then our left hand side will become 1, and that is our starting step, and we need that our LHS must become equals to our RHS, and for that what we exactly need, that there should not be any sin A in the RHS, that sin A must get vanished or removed, but that is possible only when in RHS I am going to give angle A as 0 degree, because we all know that sin 0 degree is 0. So once I give this A sin A 0 degree, so 1 minus sin 0 is 0 and 1 plus sin 0 is 0, and our RHS also becomes 1. And in this process you have already solved the question, because see, B you have taken as 45 degree and A you have taken as 0 degree for a specific reason, because you want to balance these two sides, and hence your answer becomes A, that is 0 plus B, that is 45, 2 into 45 is 90, and your answer becomes D option, that is 90 degree. No, it's not 45, it's 90 degree. You have to see the solution once more. Might be this particular session is recorded in YouTube, you can watch it, आराम से इसको देख लो, and before closing today's session, let me give you a few homeworks which I have told you in the middle of the class. Let me finish it with that. First thing, just try to remember all those 8 set of values which I have given you as DPT. Second thing, you have to remember 1 to 30 square by heart करना है इसको अच्छी तरह से. 1 to 20 cube, 1 to 20 table. These are mandatory homework. If you can't remember these things, you are not in a position to crack any competitive exam including maths. Fifth thing is trigonometric table to a perfection. Perfection means if I can ask any value at any instant of time, you can tell me there only without drawing the table. And last but not the least, you have to understand what is this VPM, that is value putting method. I have already explained you the method with help of 4 examples. So you have to just do all these things before coming to our next session. And in case you need my assistance, because I must introduce you with my name, Sir has already told you, but let me introduce it by myself. My name is Sekhar Singh, and this is my personal number. If you have any kind of queries in maths, you can consult me anytime. So I have written here the name and the number. तो में से बहुत सारे बच्चे होंगे जिनको मैथ्स को लेके कुछ भी क्वेरी हो सकती है. You might need my assistance at any time. You can message me, not call me, because most of the times I am in class, and usually by 10 o'clock in the night I switch off my phone. So any queries before that you can message me and you can talk to me. Not talk to me through message. Right? I hope this session may make you a bit comfortable in maths. Whatever you feel for this particular session, you can write in the comment section. I'll be appreciating that if you can people answer a few things about the teaching style, or maybe anybody has any kind of problem, because see, this is my demo class. This is the first demo sessions for you people. You can say it's a just demo class, so I can't teach you more in detail, but in future we will be knowing each and every thing which is there in trigonometry and how to solve questions quickly. Apart from the basic theories which I am teaching you, which is actually necessary for your NDA paper, what else is needed that I will be guiding you in future, right? So I hope this much is enough for today. Hope you people, anybody of you can contact me and tell me the feedback of today's session. So let's close it here. Take care. Happy Diwali to all of you. I hope all of you are celebrating Diwali in a day or two. So wishing you all a very happy and prosperous Diwali, and thank you to all of you for your this session, and let's meet you in future through online and of course through offline when you will be coming here to take offline coaching and then again online, right? Take care.